What's good? What's good? How y'all doing? I tried to I tried to set my microphone to be an outside microphone since people say they can't hear me when I'm just using the webcam. And the webcam has terrible audio. So put a one in the comment section if you can hear me. I'm using an actual microphone, but I'm not sure if it is doing what it's supposed to do. I'm not getting Y'all can hear me? Good, good. Okay. For whatever reason I'm not getting any visual audio feedback. It's supposed to be telling me. Is my sound okay? Because I'm supposed to be coming in the microphone, but I don't know if I'm in the microphone. Okay, good, good, good. Hi, sir. Morning. Do I sound like I just woke up? All right. All right, bet on. So, like I said earlier, like I said in all the posts, this is going to be a super chat only and a YouTube members question and answer, but it's still going to be an open conversation about anything else. I'm just not going to be answering any specific questions about dating and relationships outside of super chats for a slew of reasons. One of which, a lot of times I do these lives. If y'all been on my channel for a while, y'all know that I do a lot of these lives, and I be on here for like 3 hours. Like I'll be on here for a minute, and yeah, super chat. So if you have a question about anything, you have to super chat it, or you have to be a member on my channel. So this is kind of me giving back to them, but also not being on here for 3 hours. I'd be on here forever because I'd be trying to answer everybody's questions. And the funny thing about it is, and I have two super chats already. Thank you, Confetti Betty, Confetti Betty. That's funny. I appreciate that. I know I have a super chat. Somebody, Colleen Carlson. I'm gonna get yours first because you jumped in here probably 20 minutes before everybody else got in here. But a lot of times I do these super chats. I'll answer 100 different people's questions, and I'll be raggedy when I get off of here. And then I see some of the same people that I help for free in my comment section shitting on me and bashing me in my video comment section because they don't think I'm watching the comment section. I'm gonna be honest, man. Like energetically, it's a lot. It takes a lot out of a person to do some of these lives for 2 3 hours, and then when you see the same people you be helping in the comment section because they didn't like a video or they're running from accountability or they're tired of the hoops or whatever they might be saying about content, you know kind of putting the kind of shitting on my intention and questioning my character just because they got a video that they didn't like because they were not ready to hear that version of truth. Everybody loves when you keep it real until you keep it real with them. And I'm not necessarily a type of person who's bashing people over the head with the truth. I'm just telling people how it is, and hopefully, leaving them enough grace to move forward without being injured by my words. That's the hope. But realizing that because I have a new audience, a lot of my audience aren't necessarily believers in my type of thinking. They just watch because maybe they just watch a lot of this content. So I get a lot of hater audience, like consistent haters. Like it may be like 10 videos in, 10 comments in, 10 different videos. I realize, oh damn, they've been shitting on me for a minute, turning my audience against me, turning the comment section against me, or attempting to. I don't even want to accidentally help one of those people at this moment. I've been blocking people all day from yesterday's video because people have been kind of accusing me of a number of different things that are not necessarily helpful to women, just because they didn't like the idea that potentially the psychology of human beings can also be turned against women, not just men or nice guys. Even so, let me get into these super chats. Thank you for everybody who's participating. Colleen Carlson, she started it off. She says, I've been texting the guy for 2 weeks. We were supposed to meet Sunday for the first time. I haven't heard from him since Monday because I asked to talk on the phone first to get to know each other better first. Won't talk. Why? Colleen, I've done a number of videos on this topic, but because I have 560 videos now on my channel, it's very difficult for people to find what they're looking for, especially since you have to title them all pretty similar for YouTube to even show anybody, which is ridiculous. But when a man refuses to talk to you on the phone before a date, it's because he doesn't have any intention to get to know you. He's trying to fabricate some closeness or some chemistry on the date that would lead to you giving him quicker access. I think that a lot of guys will say, well, no, I just think it's better to meet people in person. Okay, well, if you believe that, then why is there a this rush to do everything else outside of communicate with this person, talk to this person. You can meet them in person as well, but you can also speak to them on the phone. You can also give a woman a sense of safety by letting her see that, maybe you're not a crazy person, you're not a lunatic. You can hold a conversation, right? Sometimes it's about letting those inhibitions down and getting comfortable with a person and figuring out, how you vibe together before you get on a date and you're all nervous. If a man really wants to get to know a woman in person, I want the ice to be broken, and I want her defenses down. I want her to feel a little bit more comfortable after talking to me for a few hours on the phone. That way, when she goes to the date, it's not the first time she said words to me. It's not the first time she's heard me speak. We have a kind of a thing going on at that point, So I think it makes for a better first date to have a lot of conversations. When men refuse to converse with you before a date, in general, it's going to tell you that they're going to be low effort guys. They're not going to talk to you very much when they're in a relationship. If you make it to a relationship, the likelihood of you making it to a relationship with one of these guys is very slim, because most of the time, if a guy won't be bothered to talk on the phone with you, he doesn't actually have a desire to get to know you. Period. There's no desire to get to know a woman that you're not willing to talk on the phone with. I know a lot of people who don't like to talk on the phone. That doesn't normally apply to the people who they're interested in. Only people who they know. Only people who they're familiar with, who they've grown bored with already. Not the people who they're trying to figure out. And so if a man's taking you out, if he wants to take you out, he really wants to get to know you, get familiar, but he refuses to have a conversation because it's not in person. I think that's some clown shit. And I've not known very many men at all who were serious about dating, who played by the rule of, I don't talk to women on the phone before dates. 99% of the misogyny content, and I'm definitely going to get to Alien Moon Mom just super chat, no question. So I appreciate that. I thought I had a question from you, but I thank you so much for participating in the super chat. But 99% of the guys who watch red pill content, or who do misogyny based dating advice for men, who do pimp ideology videos, who do anti-women, really anti-community dating advice, pretty much it's all detrimental. But the men who despise women, who hate them, and who teach other men to use them and abuse them, all teach their audiences never talk on the phone before a date, because that's non-sexual time. They think that you should get to the date, leave her feeling deprived before the date, so she's more eager to get to know you. She's more nervous, she's more caught off guard, and you have more leverage and control. Also, every minute that you spend talking to a woman that doesn't lead to sex is a waste of time. So they don't believe in spending non-sexual energy on a woman. They don't believe in getting to know her for real, because getting to know you creates expectations, and they don't want to create expectations. They just want to create sexual tension. It's the rule number one about going out with a woman is don't talk to her on the phone. So if he's basically ghosted you and he's going to pop back up before the date, it'd be better off if you didn't take the date. I would much rather you just go to a date with someone who had either conversational skills or a willingness to have a conversation than a man who's not willing to do a date. Thanks again, Nancy. So yes, if a man refuses to go on a date with you, it's because he is 100% not involved in mentally in any way and trying to get to know you. He's only trying to get to the date to potentially get some sex or to build some leverage in that way. But that's not a serious guy. He's not for real about getting to know you. If a guy's not curious about you, don't talk to him. So I wouldn't go on a date to you if I was you, especially if he just pops up like today or tomorrow, like, hey, we're still going out. No, we're not going out. Fuck you. Love and respect. Nancy, I'm going to answer the last super chat just so I can, and I seen the other super chat too, so don't fret. I got that other one down there. But Nancy says, I met a cute guy at a grocery store. I complimented him. He said I was beautiful. A lot of flirting. Do you think I should have offered him my number? Yeah. Or have a burner number or a burner account that you move from, or a way to contact you, whether it's an Instagram or email. I'm all for getting a person my email. Hold on, I need some water. My damn voice is I should have got some tea before I came in here. Hold on. I'm texting my wife. Yeah, I'm all for you giving somebody contact information. I don't think that if you are looking for love, you should kind of refuse those instances where that opportunity presents itself. So yes, you should have gave him some form or way to contact you if he was complimenting you in that way. He was looking for that time or that opportunity. I need an air freshener or something. Y'all hold on. Pretty girl. Y'all forgive me. I got a cold. My boys keep bringing stuff home. So yeah, you should have gave me a number. Jesus Christ. Thank you. Ooh, needed that. So Nancy also says, godly. See my eyes watering. Excuse me. Ooh, Nancy also says, I have friends that are friends with people that I either fell out with or they did me wrong. Good gracious, I need my voice back. Give me that. It bothers me that they are still friends with those individuals. Jesus. I feel like they should be loyal to me. Am I wrong? No. You're not wrong to feel that way, but you're wrong to expect it. It's not your business who they have relationships with, as long as they're not being disloyal to you and acting like an enemy when they're in the presence of your enemies. Jesus. So as far as you have friends that have friendships with other people, sometimes the easiest way to maintain your relationships, I do this, is to stay out of everybody else's. It's not my business who's not getting along. That's not my fight. That's not my trouble. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I don't betray people. I don't backbite just because people aren't getting along. I have family members who don't get along with each other. My mom, my brother doesn't sometimes get along with my mom. They go back and forth. That's not my business. Jesus. Excuse me, y'all. I'm going to get it together. But yeah, so my mom and brother don't get along. They both talk about each other from time to time. It's not my business to tell them not to. It's not my business to fall out with one out of loyalty to the other. They're my brother. They're my mom. I've had friends to do the same thing. It's wrong of you to expect them to do that. It's not wrong of you to feel a certain type of way about that. It's not wrong of you to wish that there was more loyalty to you than the other person, but that's not their job or place to take on your beefs. I think that would be a stretch, and that's asking too much of people. The best thing you can hope for is that they're not backbiting or talking down to you when they're in the presence of people who don't like you. That's a fair enough expectation. But everything else is just you kind of wanting them to fall out with the people that you don't like. And depending on the relationship structure, most of the time that's not going to happen. And do me a favor, write me some details about that, because it could be deeper than that. Write me on Instagram, Nancy. I talk to you all the time anyway. Write me on Instagram and let me know kind of some background, some details about that. And maybe there is a more appropriate answer for you. But it doesn't sound like, from what you said, your friends would owe you anything outside of just loyalty and respect and staying out of the arguments. I think that would be fair to assume or expect. All right. If I go in another coughing fit, I'll just hit the mute button. I just realized I had one. Let me get this other super chat down here. Confetti Bay just gave $3. She said love and respect, I suppose. Alien Moon gave $9.99. She said love and respect, I suppose. I appreciate that. Franz Wild, she says, Kev, what are you suggesting? What are your suggestions on vetting a man? My suggestions on vetting a man is, you know, if this is a long-term thing, if you're vetting a guy for a long-term relationship, you have to figure out if he has the relationship skills you need. If he doesn't have the relationship skills you need, there's no reason for you to decide you like him and move forward with whatever you do when you like a guy. I think that too often women stop taking in information when they start having feelings. So vetting a guy can mean a whole lot of things. It means looking into his background, checking his police record if you need to. Um, it means asking more questions about his old relationships. It means not accepting ambiguity as an answer for any of your curiosities. It means moving with intention and requiring him to do the same. It means requiring consistency. It means having enough conversations and having enough experiences with him that you get an accurate portrayal of what he is and who he is to everybody around him. Vetting a man is a process. It's not something you can do or accomplish in 1 or 2 dates. Vetting a man is long term. So I would focus on finding out the information that would obviously rule out his criminal record, his propensity to lie or steal or commit crimes or be dangerous or assault or abuse. Hold on, let me cough. But vetting a man can't be a thing that you assume is done at any point. So I can tell you 10 things that you can do to vet a man, and maybe I'll do that on a video. I'll create my next video. One of my videos next week will be 10 ways to vet a man. I can answer that question, and it's long form. It'll take a while to do, but you're never done vetting a person because you're always taking in new information. So always be doing that. Always be studying and taking in new information from a guy. But again, I'd rather do a video because I can break down the concepts, what's important and why it's important to whomever might be needing that information. Good gracious. All right. I think I'm getting it together, y'all. Okay, Elise. And I'm getting I'm getting the other two at the top too. But Elise says, what age do you think is reasonable to start dating with the intention to marry? I started dating with the intention to marry when I was 19. Yeah, I didn't want to wait. Um, so I'm chewing on the I'm chewing on the air, man, y'all. A minute. But I didn't want to wait. I knew that me personally, I'm the type of person who I didn't want to necessarily wait till every woman had all these horrible dating experiences. I knew what was coming. I knew what the normal experiences were. So if you're a young person, I would never tell a young person go to college. I would never tell a woman. A man, maybe, but I never tell a woman go to college, get your degree, find your job, buy the house, car, all this stuff, and then go find a man. If you're looking for a husband, you're looking for marriage, you want the least damaged people, the least experienced people, the most bright eyed, bushy tail, optimistic people, people who can learn their relationship skills through the relationship that they grow intentionally with you. When you pick up a person who's been beat up, who's been, toxified by other people, they have to break those habits. We always hear about dating unhealed men and unhealed women. A lot of people don't have the ability to evolve past their trauma. So even if they had the propensity to be great, or they had the capability or potential to be great, once they encounter some trauma, that goes away until they decide to be great again, until they decide to work on their healing and prioritize that. It doesn't look like for a lot of people they have that opportunity to be great. It doesn't look like a lot of people make the recovery. They just get more and more broken in time. And that's why so many people in their 50s are having trouble finding people. Everybody's on their third divorce. Everybody's on their fourth divorce. Everybody's on their fifth or sixth tragedy, and so people aren't necessarily learning. Many of us are maladaptive and we don't realize it. So I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what age you would choose, but I'm telling people to find healthy love as soon as possible. And women specifically need to find it um, fresh out of college, if not during college, because a man's ability to pick a woman of his choosing to get the best selection has a lot to do with his ability to grow and earn and provide. Women don't have any of those walls in front of their ability to have a man. It's foolish for a woman to get all of those things, spend 8 or 10 years after school developing a career, and then say, "Oh, I'm going to look for a man now," because a man is never judging a woman based on those things. She should have them, but you can have both. Women can have both. They can grow, they can evolve, they can work, they can study, and they can love. You don't have to just do one thing. And women who do one thing ultimately regret the time they spent not necessarily trying to multitask a little bit more as it pertains to dating and discovering men. So if you're a young person, the sooner the better, especially for women. Miss Janaisha said, just sending support to you and pretty girl. Thanks. Thanks. I appreciate that. Pretty girl and the kids. You're doing such a great job. Thank you. I had a coughing fit. I got a cold. My 6-year-old keeps bringing colds back home. Every day the elementary school is it's a new wave of a new version of a cold going around. We get all of them. I can't stand this. I'm so looking forward to summer break because we don't get sick around here as much. This day last week of school, I can't wait. Um, Zakia Johnson, thank you so much for your super chat. I appreciate it. Thanks for participating. Again, this conversation is super chat only, and if you're a YouTube member, if I see your question, I'm gonna answer that too because you're already looking out. Um, Anybody else who has a good question, I'm gonna look through the comment section after this, and if they're video worthy, I'll do a video about them. I don't know. Let me see. Somebody, Zakia said, my ex-boyfriend is facing 5 years in jail after numerous violations of orders of protection. After he assaulted me, he's trying to convince me not to come to court because he will blow trial. Thoughts? Let me cough before I tell you this. Listen, I've seen a lot of young women do their best to protect a man who had abused them, had stalked them, had made them fearful of in their everyday lives, who had done far worse things to them than should even be mentioned on the YouTube live. Every time I see a woman empower a man to abuse her by assisting him in getting out of the trouble that he causes himself through abusing her, it generally backfires with more abuse. I knew a guy who would beat up his wife and she'd go down there and get him out of jail. And it just it kept escalating until he ended up having to go to jail for stabbing that lady. And I know 100 of those stories. And in coaching 4,000 women now, I've I've been on a lot of calls, maybe a few dozen, where it was that serious. It was, he choked me and now he doesn't want me to press charges. Should I press charges? Well, he's gonna come back to your house if you don't press charges. You want him in your house choking you, jumping on your 12-year-old son? I don't think you do. Um, I would imagine that safety is a concern for you regardless. And if he is facing 5 years in jail, I don't know how, you know, I don't know how you stop him from terrorizing you or your life. You clearly don't have enough people around you to intimidate him away. I'm wondering if he isolated you or if you just are naturally isolated. But if he's trying to convince you not to come to court because he'll blow trial, I don't know what he did to you. I don't know what those violations of the order of protection were protecting you from, what he was really supposed to stay away from you for doing. If you'd like to talk to me, you've super chatted, write me on Instagram and give me some more details about this. But from the sound of it, I would not go to court. he he needs to eat that. If you big and bad, you tough, you can intimidate a woman. Go on and intimidate them police. Go on and intimidate them brothers in jail. Everybody in jail is like you. I'm not a big proponent of women letting guys get off the hook when the police finally come and finally try to stop them. Because as soon as you don't go to court, guess what? The next time you need an order of protection, they ain't gonna come, and he gonna get worse and worse. So I hope that excuse me, I hope that helps. But write me on Instagram and give me some more details if you want to. Like I said, I love to help, but I don't have enough. I don't have enough information. All I know is, he's assaulted you, and that's enough for me. Um, I'm broke up today, y'all. Let me see. I'm broke up today. Okay, so we don't got no more super chats at the moment. So I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look here for. I'm gonna look here for video ideas until somebody else super chats or until I see some more YouTube members. Like I said, this is. I'm just doing this because I be on here for 3 hours, 4 hours. I be on here forever, y'all. And like I said, then I see the same people that I show so much love to, trying to group people against me in the comment section. It's just. I just don't even want to accidentally help somebody who really don't mess with me. And a lot of times, I'm gonna be honest, the same people who say, well, I can't super chat, or I don't got no money for coaching. I'm with that. And I've created a lot of free avenues for coaching. I talk to people free in the DMs all the time. I talk to people on Instagram. I talk to people on Facebook. I'm always helping people for free. But I'm realizing that, man, if a person if you don't think my advice is worth $1, I think super chat started like $1. You don't think my advice is worth $1, then I'm not sure if you're gonna do what I asked you to do, or heed the advice anyway. People really value what they pay for. And I don't really care. I'm a good Samaritan. I've been helping a lot of people for a long time, but I just don't have an infinite amount of energy. And so now I'm just being more careful about how I how I give my energy out, because it looks like a lot of the free advice I get distracts from my coaching services, because I done helped everybody for free. And I can't be losing views and not having as many coaching clients as I usually have, because I'm giving all of my time and my energy and my advice away for free all the time. So tonight's just about getting reciprocal energy, love, and respect to everybody, though. Um, but it's some good questions on here. I really would like to make some of these videos. I haven't decided next week's videos. I haven't done my I haven't done my. I usually do like 4 to 8 videos in a row, just one sitting. That's why I always have the same thing on, because if I sit down and get in the groove, I'll record. I'll record. Shit. Hold on. I'll record for like an hour or 2 hours, and I'll knock out 8 videos. So I haven't done that yet. So if you have a video idea, please put it in the comment section. I am reading these comments. I just don't want to be on here for an hour. I'm gonna watch TV. I'm gonna watch a movie with my wife when I get off here. Let me see. Mm, This brings me to something. Miss K, by the way, she says, "How do you respond to your partner who is way too clingy without being rude or hurting their feelings?" I like that. I want to make that a video idea, so I'll talk about that. I've already took note of that because you put that comment there a while ago. But that brings me to something. So my last video, what was I talking about? 3 ways that you make yourself look desperate, and 3 ways, and basically 3 things that repel good men and attract toxic men. The biggest, most dominant, most consistent question I get, dominant's not the best word, but one of the most consistent questions I get is, why do I keep attracting ain't shit men? Or why do I keep attracting users or abusers or F boys? That video is the key to why so many of you keep having these issues with men. Some of you write me and say, "Why don't men take me serious?" Others of you write me and say, "Why do I keep getting F boys? It's wasting all my time." That video is the key. And instead of people looking at that video for what it is, it could have been properly titled 3 Ways Not to Attract F Boys. It could have been properly titled 3 Things You Do to Repel Healthy Minded Men. It could have been properly titled 3 Reasons Why Women Hate Nice Guys. It could have been properly titled 3 Things That Guys Do That Annoy You. All of those would have worked. I could have either blamed the men specifically in the comments and the branding and the title of the video, or I could have let you know how you can be more self-aware and present yourself more healthy, so that you don't misrepresent yourself and make an F boy or make a toxic man feel like you're a better target than somebody else, right? The video had all of the game in it that you would need to stop a few of the ideas that women have about how they're supposed to express themselves with men, that actually are adverse to the selection process, because it gets you selected by terrible men. And I got called so many different names. I blocked like 4 or 5 people today. People in the comment section huddling up about terrible toxic men giving advice on YouTube. It just gets crazy. So, YouTube is funny because it gives you an opportunity to like recycle your audience. Your audience is not the same from year to year because my audience is always temporary. Women get boyfriends, they stop watching my stuff. That's what happens. And so I always got new audience members. Some years my audience members are very wise. Like the baseline of thought is extremely wise, extremely in tune, self-aware, looking for self-improvement. And then other times I have cycles where my audience is just they ain't there, and I'm 560 videos in, so I'm over here with it, and some of them still need it down here, and it's very difficult sometimes to give everybody what they're looking for. Um, so I'm realizing that maybe I need to try to separate or segment my audience a little bit better, so I don't get as many trolls or as many people who are upset with me for being honest. Um, but with that said, let me get to some of these super chats. Astro Freak Deuce Deuce, love and respect. How can you tell if somebody is future faking after your 90 days of dating? I think if they're future faking after 90 days of dating, you can kind of tell because uh, they've already given you a little bit of consistency, hopefully by that time. If they haven't shown you consistency by 90 days, if none of their future projecting had happened or come to fruition by that 90-day mark, when they start telling you what's going to happen in the next 60 days, it starts to look funny. It starts to sound funny because it doesn't match what you've gotten. I still don't like. I don't like people telling me about what they're going to do in the future. Just do it. I don't think you need to worry so much about people future faking as much as you need to worry about your inability to decipher whether or not they're giving you a fantasy or they're showing you a reality. Judge a person's actions. Don't listen to shit what people say. If somebody said, "Hey, one day we're gonna have kids," all of that stuff, just tell them, "Listen, if it happens, it's lovely. I'd love that to happen, but we're not there yet. Let's wait till we get there." You can correct a man when he starts projecting into the future too much, and I think it's best for you to do that instead of trying to decipher whether he's future faking. Tell him, "Hey, I'd rather not talk about the future. I'd rather make it to the future." Right. And then every time he starts to try to jazz you up with that stuff, again, correct him again. Listen, I much rather just live in the future, experience the future. Don't tell me about the future. People say a lot of things. They don't do it half as much. So let's just be great together and make it to that point. That's the best thing that you can do. If you don't put yourself in a position where you're making a man be real with you and making a man check his own words and conduct, you're going to get played with. Because sometimes, even if a guy knows that you didn't respond to it, you did not, like, you didn't correct him either. So he thinks he's getting it off. So you're going to get more of that, and you're going to be stuck trying to decipher what's real and what's not real. And he's going to keep pouring it on thick, and you're going to be confused at the end of it all. So don't worry so much about if he's future faking. Call it out. Tell him I'm not really interested in talking about the future. Let's just make it to the future. Do what we can. Let's take the actions to make us to the future. That's what I want to do. And so correct a man. Don't be afraid to correct a man. Stop letting a man just say whatever the hell he wants to say, and then trying to figure out how to rise above it. Sometimes you just got to stop it, man. Put your hand on the shoulder. Listen, I don't want to do this. This is not the conversation I want to have. I want to just make it there one day. Show me. Don't tell me. Even so, moving on, we'll make it through these super chats. Um, Simply Me said, what if RL friends, what if real life friends are friends with the man who went against your will in his in high school 30 years ago? Not sure if I should leave the friendships. I don't think anything in high school should follow us into adulthood. Most people I know have done something stupid in high school. Most of us don't understand how stupid we are until we look back at who we were and we're like, my God, I can't believe I did that. I was in my car driving down the street just today, and I got embarrassed by an outfit I used to wear in high school. I just felt embarrassed because at the time I thought I was fresh. And I guess I was to a degree. Uh, but man, I was just thinking about some of the stuff I wore in high school, how I used to leave the house. I got embarrassed in my car riding by myself today. Like, oof, I had to shake that shit off. People are stupid in high school. People are mean in high school. They're treacherous in high school. They don't know who they are in high school. Don't get too deep into trying to figure out how to stop who people are hanging out with today based on what happened in high school. I don't think that that's a fair thing to do. I don't think that's your place to stop the adult life of a person because your inner child is still broken by their inner child or the child they were. I hope that helps. Kelly Mills, and I seen other super chats. I'm gonna scroll down. Hey Kev, any advice on someone who hasn't dated in a while? An older woman, I might just need to book a session. Yeah, if you haven't dated in a while, I usually take people who are rusty through a slew of different things that you need to be aware of and you need to be cognizant of because you're you're coming into a new world. If you haven't dated in a while, and I don't know when's the last time you dated, things are so much different now. And the older men are acting like young men because now they have access to these young women because nobody has any degree of separation anymore. The internet puts anybody in our face at any given time. So the world has changed around us. Things are different. There's a lot more to worry about. There's a lot more to have to decipher. And there's a lot more false information out here. And there's a lot more false lovers and people who are presenting themselves as husband potential and all of these different things. So yes, book a session, not because of the upsell, but because that's a longer conversation. And I need to figure out what you've experienced, what kind of relationship you're coming from, if you were in a relationship, if you're a widow, what kind of trauma you have. Everybody has a different thing that they need to overcome within themselves outside of what the world is going to offer you. So yeah, book a session. I'd love to talk to you about that. Let me get back into these super chats. I got a bunch of them. I think I had like 4 of them that just came up. Hold on. Okay, VC. VC says, and thank you for the super chat. Why are some men very avoidant? This guy from the gym avoids me, but I'm not even chasing him. I'm focused on my workout. I don't run away from people. I'm confident and I'm self-aware. We have flirted before. I'm gonna be honest. When a man's avoiding you at the gym, if he's actively avoiding you, if it's observable to you that he's really avoiding you, he's probably married and just trying not to cheat on his wife. I'm gonna be honest. Like that's probably what that is. He's probably not available. Now, if you find out he's available, then that's a whole different thing. But I feel like he's married and trying not to cheat on his wife. If you at the gym looking good, now I don't know how you becoming. I don't know what you look like. Your emoticon or avatar is a V. But let's just say you look like some of the women at the gym be looking. I would run from a woman full speed, like run before I get myself into some dumb shit. And a lot of men are just trying to be great and stay away from temptation. If you flirted and you've created an expectation or an experience that somebody might want to duplicate, and it puts you in a place where now you got to be tempted on a regular basis because you've created this inappropriate correspondence string. uh, uh, it would seem to me that he's probably trying to be better than he was that day that you flirted. That's what I would think. Other than that, I don't know why he would avoid you unless he's talking to other women at the gym and he doesn't want somebody else to see you flirting. Maybe that girl wasn't there that day, but he's working on something else. So in general, if he's running from you, he's avoidant and you're attractive, he has another prospect in the area that he doesn't want to mess up, or he has a woman that he's trying to be faithful to. But the world is a very tempting place sometimes, especially the gym. So that's probably why. Um, and anybody can get caught off guard and flirt. That can happen to a lot of people. But if he doesn't want to continue that, he's trying to be a better man than he was that day. Next question. Um, Lachey's life says a guy I met online a month ago. We only talked on the phone twice. OTP. Y'all kill me with these. He works in my city before construction. We stopped talking now. Now, randomly, I see him at my job. Am I being stalked? 2 times seeing him here. So you met him online a month ago. You talked on the phone twice. He works in your city doing construction. You stopped talking. Now you randomly see him at your job. No, I don't think he's stalking. I mean, it would be unlikely. That would be weird. You talked on the phone twice. It doesn't look like you even went out. He might just be in that area doing some business, and he probably recognized you from being online or being on the phone, or the profile pictures. But I wouldn't assume he's stalking you, especially if you haven't encountered him or spoken to him. And I don't know what your job is. Um, I don't know what you do. You said he works in your city doing construction. I don't know what you do and where you would be encountering him, but he might have some viable business to be there. So I wouldn't read too much into that until he starts to like bridge the gap or try to get close to you or try to make contact or something like that. Find out what his business is there. I would imagine he's probably not stalking you. It might just be a coincidence. Sometimes it's a small world, but be on your protection anyway. Always have an option, a non lethal option or a lethal option to protect yourself from an actual stalker. I always tell my clients to go get into jujitsu and go get into Muay Thai, learn how to punch and kick and wrestle and grapple. Make yourself dangerous. Um, let me see. At least, at what point do you think a man or a woman is healthy enough to love someone else? Thank you for answering my last question. Absolutely. I think that a man or a woman is healthy enough to love someone else when the focus has left that person, that hurt, that trauma, that pain, whatever happened in that relationship, and instead their focus is on growth and evolution. Y'all hear me now? Y'all hear me now? No? Y'all got me now? Yeah, we good now? All right. I accidentally clicked the microphone off. All right. All right. I'm running over here. Let me make sure. Let me see how long ago my sound went off to make sure that that's not what Nancy said. Oh shit. I've been running my mouth for 3 minutes with no sound. All right, let me answer those last let me answer those last questions. Let me answer those last couple questions. My bad, y'all. I'm about to answer the last couple questions because I think I answered my maybe two questions. Don't run away from people. Do somewhere. Okay. Lachey's life. I met a guy a month ago. We only talked twice. I got that one. He tells somebody's future fake and got that one. Used to go. Okay, so I've been talking about this. Ray of Sunshine 144. I've been answering her question. Ray of Sunshine, she says, I used to go for charismatic players. I'm trying to change, but some of these good men lack personality. They're not as interesting when nervous. How do I hit it off when I'm an introvert myself? Making sure the mic's on. Okay. So to your point, Ray of Sunshine, you're an introvert. Okay. As an introvert yourself, you're not the most interesting when you're nervous, right? Some of these guys are just the male version of you, which means you're probably more compatible than not. I watch so many women waste 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years of their life chasing men who have charisma, who have personality, who are exciting, who don't want anything at all from them. And because they don't want anything at all from them, they waste your time. They cause you trauma. They beat you down. They abuse you in different ways. You abuse yourself in trying to chase these guys and make them better than they are. The thing is this, if you if you were to give, let's say you were to give a man who was not the most interesting because he was nervous, who didn't come out of his shell for another maybe 2 months. If you were to spend that 2 months getting to know a more decent man, it would seem to me that you could save yourself the many years of heartache that a lot of women are giving themselves trying to chase down the charismatic player, the emotionally unavailable man. It doesn't serve you at all to rush the process of learning how to impress a man who has an infinite options over trying to figure out how to get more familiar with a man who might be a little bit dry when he doesn't know you that well, and he's not the greatest guy at impressing women. He doesn't have the most prospects, most charisma, most this or that. I'm not saying you should just date a guy because he's nice or because he's not a criminal or anything like that. I'm not telling you that. I'm just saying, you just said you're an introvert too. If you're an introvert too, then you realize that there's some exciting women. You can't just be fine. You have to be exciting. You have to have personality. There are men who have not been impressed with you because of the same thing, but you know that you offer more excitement. You know you have more personality. You know you have more to offer a conversation than maybe you do when you're nervous. And so it's important to give a person that same grace that you would need. That's all I'm saying. Um, okay, Elise, I'm gonna redo your last question because I got you, Elise. I'm gonna redo your last question. Did you read my comment above? The mic was off. I'm gonna go back. No complaints. I'm so used to playing with the microphone button that I just clicked it off. Now the damn chat. Oh my god! Now the chat's not. Now the chat's not. Let me see. Let me see. I'm gonna try to do the last chat, but it looks like they all disappeared. That ain't no good. Hold on. YouTube is YouTube got some improvements to make. Hold on, yeah. I'm gonna join my live as like somebody else to see if I can find the extra questions that disappeared. Okay. And I see a few new questions. So okay. Are y'all seeing the questions? Do y'all still see the questions? Because they just disappeared for me. Nobody- nobody- Doggone super chats just all the chats just disappeared. Do y'all got questions? Are y'all seeing these questions? Because if I scroll up, I only see like the last couple of minutes before these other ones disappear. YouTube. Somebody said, and I'm gonna get y'all questions. The super chats come directly to me, but they come to me right after the live. So if I don't get your super chat, then I'll write you directly. Drop your email in the comment below if you got a super chat and you didn't get your question answered yet. I'll write you specifically, um, and directly. NYC Dog said, "What to do if he is so critical of everything you do?" If a man is critical of everything you do, then it's probably, first of all, it's probably not just you, it's how he lives his life, it's how he operates, it's what he does to everybody around him. Most of the time, a critical person is not just critical of others, they're critical of themselves too. They are used to living with that pressure of being whatever, but they don't realize how they come off and how they injure others in doing that same thing. So it's important for you to, if you haven't communicated that this person is critical, if you haven't had these conversations about, why that doesn't work for you, why you need more positive than negative, you need more optimism than pessimism. That's something that you have to do if you're in a relationship with somebody and you love them and they're otherwise healthy. But let's say a guy is particularly critical of you and you can't do anything right. You have to ask yourself why. And what is he critical of? A lot of times, a man is critical of you in ways that affect your self esteem. I don't want you accepting a guy playing with your self esteem. I don't want you accepting a guy allowing you to feel disempowered and causing you to feel disempowered. Right. So, uh, So somebody said they are gone for them super chat. Okay, we'll figure it out. I don't want you to accept a person disempowering you on purpose. Sometimes a man is trying to completely destroy your will to move forward and grow and have better things because he doesn't want you to move forward and not have him, and or leave him because he won't have you as a resource. So please don't let a man be critical of you, specifically. Critical, not satisfied. If he's not satisfied with you specifically, you gotta ask yourself, "Is this a just cause? Is this real? Am I really not giving him a good experience here? Is he right to have this criticism, or is he just trying to empower me?" I don't know what type of relationship you're in. I don't have enough details about your relationship, but anybody here who's super chatting me can write me on at kevhick on Instagram. Just put the first word "super chat" and I'll answer your question. You can put the long version of the question, I'll answer it, especially since half of them just disappeared. So it's not just me. This is ridiculous. I sent a super chat, how to answer, "Why are you single?" Okay, but, everybody just do that. A couple asterisks. C said, "I sent a super chat, how to answer, 'Why are you single?' when the guy asks if something's wrong." Uh, okay, so I'm about to get to that. But yeah, that's what I would do. I would figure out what he's been critical about. Is he serious? Is he just criticizing you on this? Do you really have a problem here? And if you don't have, is he critical of everyone? Is of himself? Or is this just something that he does? Or is he just empowering you because he wants to be dominant over you? I think that those are questions you need to ask, but I don't have the information, so I can't necessarily answer you specifically because he might be right. You might be doing something wrong. That's also possible. Thoughts on if a f thoughts on a friend likes you but doesn't want to date in the friend group. You can't do nothing about somebody not wanting to date in the friend group. They don't like you enough, because if they liked you enough, they would definitely date you in the friend group. They wouldn't give a damn. So there's that. You gotta make sure that you are requiring, people to just tell you what they want and be about what they want. And if they don't date the friend group, they don't like you enough. They like you a little bit, like you enough to probably be attracted to you and potentially do something that's physical with you. You don't want no girlfriend in the friend group. Makes sense. I understand it. But leave him alone, put him down. It's not a thing that you wanna waste your time on. If he doesn't date on the friend group, he's made an invisible wall between you and him. All the "I like yous" in the world ain't shit. People say all kind of stuff. What they do is what matters, and what he's doing is not being, more available for a relationship. He's emotionally unavailable, point blank, period. Lachey's life, thanks, Kev. I only said stalking because I told him, where I went too soon, which was careless on my part to do. I don't know him, so I panicked. Yeah, I don't think he's stalking you. I feel like he's probably just, probably has some viable business there, and you haven't spoken to him in a minute, so it would seem like it's easy enough to get hold of you at your job. I don't think he's stalking you. Uh, can y'all still hear me? I don't have, can y'all still hear, am I still breaking up? Y'all hear me now? Cool. Alright. Maybe I was touching the cord or something. I don't know. I gotta figure this out. See. Somebody said, mm, we talked about the friend group, critical. Okay, I wanna redo your last question at least. Did you read my comment above the Microsoft? Miss Tenacious, drop your other question. YouTube just took all of the top YouTube just, like, wiped the comment section. Like, they just wiped the whole comment section, so I didn't see. I have 4 super chats I was supposed to respond to, and I can't. It just disappeared. That wasn't a me thing, that was YouTube. That was definitely YouTube at the time. But I want everybody to re-ask those questions, so if you drop the super chat, asterisks and drop your question again, I'm looking for those. You didn't have to super chat again. I would've definitely, just I would've. She said, "Kev," I said, "I appreciate you. You didn't have to do that." She said, "I don't have a say. I don't have AC, blown directly on you." I said, "I don't have AC blown directly on you. If you have allergies or sensitivities to cold air, it could make you sick. As you say, stop the shit." Oh, yeah. I definitely don't have AC blowing directly on me. I wanna, I'll start this fan up 'cause I'm a little but no, I don't have AC. That's them kids, man. Them kids, elementary school is ridiculous. They get sick all the time. Every week is a new cold sweeping through the neighborhood, and that's how elementary school is. I'm so sick of it. Summer break, I'm looking forward to 4 or 5 healthy weeks in a row. Y'all wish me luck. Elise, can you put your question in the comment section again? I'm gonna look for it. I know it was like 3 or 4 super chats that disappeared. I wasn't able to get to them because it just disappeared. Okay, so C says, "Why you single?" She said, "I sent the super chat." This was one of the super chats. "Why are you single? When a guy asks me if something's wrong with me." You know, I don't think that you should, you have a date with a man who's also single. What guy is asking you what's wrong with you if he's single? Why are you single when the guy asks you if something's wrong with you? I think that's a rude question. I think that question shows a lack of awareness. I think that question, it shows a lack of self-awareness 'cause most of the time, the man in front of you is also single. It's not a place. It doesn't even come from a place of leverage or self-awareness. You could ask him the same thing. "Why are you single? Is something wrong with you?" In general, there are a few things that are red flags to me. I don't like certain things said on dates. A lot of times a guy asks you why you're single because he thinks that he's looking at a pretty amazing prospect, and he's wondering, why you wouldn't already be up with your man and blah. But at the same time, the tone, for that question, it matters. A person that can just be clueless about what's appropriate to ask, and I talk to people about this all the time, grandmothers, aunties, all kind of people. "When you gonna get married?" "When I find a man." They don't realize it's trauma. They don't realize it's triggering. They don't realize how you potentially have an emotional moment when you go away from the crowd. It's not necessarily something that a woman who's been trying to find a man wants to answer. "Why are you single? Is something wrong with you?" But most people don't realize that because they don't understand how things that haven't affected them or the things that they haven't suffered from, can be sensitive topics or triggering to other people. So as it pertains to how to answer that question, it's one of those things that you need to let a man know, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really like that question because, I think anybody single at this point can be asked that question. It doesn't necessarily make sense to just target a woman with that question because there's a lot of single men around here too. Let me see it won't let me change. Yeah, somebody said, "Is my mic still going in and out?" Somebody said, "Kev doesn't know his mic is going in and out." Did he address that or am I late? The doggone mic. The mic is doing some bullshit. Oh my god. I can't win. I can't win. Let me see. I just wanna say something. Hey, convo. We can hear you. Okay, cool. Super chat reposted. I'm conflicted. This is what I've been looking for. So if you lost your super chat, when I cut my mic off accident, drop your super chat question. Fran said, and this was her super chat reposted. I'm conflicted with wanting to trust new dating interests, and using discernment. I try not to put all men in the same category or boat, but it usually backfires. You know, you don't have to trust any damn body. And I tell people this, probably every live. I don't trust anybody. I don't trust a new person. I don't trust an old person. I trust people to be people. People disappoint. People people lie. People are some motherfuckers. Like, I just feel like once you get to a place where you trust yourself to make adjustments, no matter what happens, you don't have to worry so much about if people are trustworthy. I think it could be the volume stabilizer. I feel like YouTube doesn't have no. Mic this mic is actually solid. I've had this mic and done podcasts with this mic. I don't know if I don't know if YouTube's thing is, like, compatible with everything. I don't know if YouTube's thing is compatible with let me try this. Let me try this. People aren't always single because there's something wrong with them. Sometimes it's because of shame. Destinations for the win. Let me try this. I'm gonna unplug the mic and see if it gives me, I'm gonna unplug the mic, but see if it gives me, any sound. Don't have sound, and I'll plug the mic back in. Let me see something.